Trace is in, but he's not here right now. But we're just doing kids' toys. It's supposed to be for development, but just about any kids' toys develop something. So, in general.
Kids' toys. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've done stuff for Hot Wheels and for Transformers, but that was not toys. Actually, well, Hot Wheels was for toys stuff, but the Transformers was actual for the movie Bumble. I had to do some car design for the last two movies. I did like Bumblebee. You know, it's so weird. I don't even remember. I'm not even a Transformers fan because I hate the movies personally. I personally hate those movies. They're just so chaotic, computer generated. You see the robot, you see the fire truck turn into a robot. And to me, I like to see how that thing forms from a fire truck into a robot. You know, I want to see its system, how does the doors open and all this stuff. But it just was so much computer animation, so much like flash, and it's like suddenly it was a robot. And I saw a couple of those early Transformers, and it was like, I don't like faking it. I don't like them faking it and just not telling us how it works. And so it frustrated me. I'm like, I'm not even into Transformers, but anyway, they still hired me for the stuff. And obviously I don't tell them, I don't watch the movies, but so toys. Anyway, I did toys and it's not really toys. And maybe, I don't know, Trace is doing the toy stuff also. But Sydney, here's something. So I had to do a project for Hot Wheels. And what it was do a TV, do an alarm clock, and do something like this, but in this toy Hot Wheels style. So it was not really a toy, you know, like you play with this thing. It was more of a, you know, do a Hot Wheels TV. So, you know, I put exhaust pipes and stuff coming off the sides and, you know, put wings on it, you know, tried to make it look like a car, which was fun. But that's just like a slightly different approach to the toy project. I wish Trace was here that we could kind of talk about this toy stuff, because maybe it's not physically something that they learn and they play with, but maybe it's, if you're really into like cell phones, maybe a cell phone in the style of, you know, Hot Wheels, for example. So I guess that's a different slant.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
What other, is that a studio, by the way, Sydney?
Yeah, it is. Alex is teaching it. I don't know if you know her.
Alex, what's his last name?
Her Moseri, I want to say. Moseri?
I don't know if I know the guy. I wonder if he's new.
She worked at Henry Ford, I believe.
Oh, she worked at Henry Ford.
Currently, I think she's like doing 3D printing of organs or something. I'm not sure.
Wow. Okay. She sounds very intelligent. So what are some of your others? Okay, I know power tools is another topic. What about anything else? I just want to get an overview.
We're doing wellness products. I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening.
Yeah, we're doing wellness products.
Oh, wellness products, yeah. And like aromatherapy stuff, because I know and Advaith, you're doing aromatherapy things?
No, I'm not doing aromatherapy. I think Tom is the one who's doing that.
Right. Yeah. I know somebody. I know some. Oh, Toya. Is he here?
No. I don't think.
Tamoya. That's it. Yeah, he's also doing this aromatherapy. So, but okay, wellness. So, Advaith, this sounds weird, but can you define what wellness products are?
I think it's very broad. She left it open to the class to let us define it for ourselves, what wellness means to us, and maybe come up with a product that in our terms. So I know Shanta's doing airplane seats, right? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm doing like redesigning the airplane chairs.
Airplane tray or airplane seats?
The entire seat.
Wow, that's courageous, Shanta. Have you started sketching? Have you started sketching on it yet?
I just started practicing, like looking at the actual chair just to like get the form down.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't started like the ideation I was gonna do that today.
You know, that could be really fun because airplane travel is so awkward and kind of painful. You know, they're cramming us in these seats. We got to sit next to like some really big person and overtaking our seats, and you know, and just all of the overcrowding on airplanes. That was
Yeah,
before
I feel like
COVID.
they're also like unnecessarily ugly as well.
I agree. I agree. You know, what would be cool, and maybe if you integrate COVID in there, I don't know how long this COVID will last, and I don't know if airplane companies will invest in COVID things, because we don't know if this is long term. But God, I think there's going to be a long term effect of COVID in terms of maybe not specifically COVID, but germ awareness. And I think being crowded in the airplane, you know, I think inspired by COVID, you know, maybe there will be like shields around people's heads or something. I'm not sure. I've never really thought about this heavily, but Shanta, go for the first class section.
Okay.
No, I'm not telling you, you know, but that's way more fun because then you have this whole environment, then you could design around and, you know, they can lay down and the business class and first class, it's way more fun. But I think they hire really top designers for that part. But as far as the, like
Right.
the economy class and things like that, I'm sure there's some stuff that could be done in there to make it more comfortable for even just a 6-hour flight to California. This can be a little uncomfortable. Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever been on a really long flight?
Yeah, I've been on an 18-hour flight.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
Where did you go?
Oh, I went to Sri Lanka, but I had to stop in Hong Kong because there's no direct flight.
Yep. Nice. My wife's been to Sri Lanka. I haven't been there. Been to India, but yeah, my wife loved Sri Lanka. So jungle-ish. She was telling me, she said big bugs. And,
Yeah.
is that right? You yeah, big bugs. She's like, yeah, big bugs. All right. Anyway, well, my favorite would be power tools. But toys is cool. Now, the reason why I don't want to dive into toys is because, to me, toys take a lot of thought and getting into the mindset of a kid. And, you know, I would hope a toy is a little bit educational or active, so they are active and you know, so that actually takes too much thought. I need to go a little superficial on this because I'm being spontaneous about my subject. And tools for me would be the easiest. Wellness could be cool as well. Sorry, Advait, what did you say you're working on as far as the wellness?
Oh, so I'm looking to focus on mental health and meditation sort of a device. So I'm hoping to do something that covers your eyes and ears, hopefully like a headset of sorts that helps you meditate.
Right.
I'm still thinking on it. So
What is that called? Deprivation, not sleep deprivation, but where a deprivation tank.
Sensory deprivation?
Sensory deprivation. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So, are you kind of going along that sensory deprivation stuff, Advait?
yeah, I want to involve the vision and your hearing as much as I can to distract you from your work and things like that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you're going to be drawing heads and headsets,
Yeah.
and okay.
So something that would come closest to what I'm looking to do is a VR headset, but something that's just not that bulky.
Right.
So,
Well, think about future technology because it'll take 2 years at least for your headset to be developed. I would have thought,
exactly.
unless it's just simple LCD screens and some earphones, earbuds, and then they can do that like in 6 months. But if you go into the future, really think about what is the future of this VR stuff. I mean, okay, yes, these huge headsets, but things are always big to start with, and then they get smaller.
I was just recently reading this article that Facebook has developed some really thin VR screens or something of that sort.
Huh.
They said it was the world's thinnest VR headset or something of that sort. It was in Yanko. if you want to go.
Yeah. I love Yanko. I haven't been on there for a little bit.
That's some great stuff.
Well, okay. Maybe I jump into that, but let me do some power tools to start with. And somebody made a request about a technique about using light marker. Who was that? Was that Lucas? Because I'm
That
gonna show
was
you.
me,
Who just said
Max.
that? Oh, Max. Okay, Max.
Yeah, because I've been drawing with Sharpie, but the one I tried with gray marker, but my gray marker died. So, but you were talking about the Star Wars stuff,
Yeah.
how you can
Yep.
underdraw.
Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate a few techniques, and the light marker is a great technique. And I have not demonstrated it yet, have I? I guess I have not. So I'm going to demonstrate that, and I've got a little bit of Sharpie because I was in a Sharpie mood. I started doing Sharpie sketches this morning, and I got into it really nicely. But I'm going to get my camera going and do some of this light gray marker and show you how to. Well, we'll put Sharpie on top of the light gray. So we'll combine these two things. So I'm turning my camera on. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my video screen. Okay, visualizer. Here we go. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay, good. Okay. Let me just find something to focus on to get it focused. Okay. Okay, it looks all good to me, basically. So we're gonna try some of this now. I'm gonna demonstrate a way to sketch very lightly with a marker, and it's very loose and free. And when you sketch with a marker, I like to use a very light, either 10% or 1 or 20% gray marker, cool gray. It doesn't matter what kind of gray, but I'm gonna start off with a 20%. Oh, here's a 20% one. Okay, a quick one about heads, and I will get into this hardcore sketching of some products, but I just want to mention heads. If anyone's doing headsets like AdFaith, and I think I might have talked about this before, but let me show you how to draw heads in a product design way. And I'm going to use this light gray marker technique. So let's just see if you can see what I'm drawing. You can't even see it. Let me adjust the lighting. Let me draw a head first. And I'm just gonna have to adjust my, oh, you can see that. Well, if I have shadows, you can see it. Let me adjust it a little bit so you can see it a little more clearly, but it's purposely very light. Okay, there. That's kind of realistic of what my paper looks like. Let's check my shadows. Okay, shadows. So this is just a scrap piece of paper. And okay, you can see, so you can see instantly how light drawing this with this very light marker is, and it gives you freedom to make mistakes, and then when you kind of figured out how everything works, like, let's just put in, okay, so, okay, I'll start sketching and then we'll take it from there. So what happens is, so for a human head, I always start off with a circle. Whether it's front view or side view or 3/4 view, whatever. Now let me just start off with this front view. I'll put a center line down. So it's a circle, and then I cut off the sides of the head. Cut off the sides of the head, because our heads are not round. Our heads are kind of cut off on the sides. And I put down a chin, and then the jaw. Male jaws and female jaws are slightly different, and I'll show you the difference. Okay, next is, so if this was the crosshairs of my circle, right in here, then the eyes are a little bit below this. So this is about the eye height. And so I'm going to put eyes in just by simply with the marker, something like that. And so eyes are the same height as your ears, generally. So let's just put an ear in there, an ear in there. Nose is kind of where the circle kind of finishes. And I don't draw all of the nostrils and stuff. I just do a simple shape for the nose because it's a shadow of the nose. Then I do the same principle for the upper lip. The upper lip casts a shadow, and so I'm just drawing the shadow. And then the bottom lip, there's a shadow underneath the bottom lip, and it's right in there. And so I'm only working with shadows, and also with the eyes. Those are the shadows of the eyes. So, and I'll just go a little bit darker around this. So this is what the head should look like. So the difference between male and female jaws is we try to stylize the male to be kind of more straight and jawbony, kind of a superhero. And then with a woman, we're just following cliches here, but okay, so starting off with the round, I'll go put a center line in, cut off the sides. And okay, and I'm going to do a crosshair right in there because before I put in the chin. Okay, there. So the eyes are a little bit below the center line going through the thing. Just some simple marks, just something like that. Little nose, upper lip, shadow, bottom lip shadow, and now I know where the bottom of her chin goes. So I'll put the bottom of her chin here. And women are kind of a little more roundy. So you can see a little bit of a difference. They have more of a roundy type of chin and cheeks, and then the rest is all the same. And so it kind of looks, you kind of see a difference. Don't forget to line up the eyes with the ears. A little bit smaller ears for women, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so this is the basic construction of a head, because you guys are going to have to do headsets and hats and earphones. So front view proportions, that's how. So side view. Side view is also built off a circle. So I'll do a side view, circle. Do a little crosshair in there. By the way, I'm using this marker. I'm using all parts of the marker. There's the fat side, which I'm not actually using, but that fat side, that is for like big filling ends. Then there's at the top of that fat part, there's a sharp edge, and I'm using that to do my kind of more sharper lines. So you can see I can get a pretty sharp line with using the sharp part. So actually those are the two main things, either thick or thin. Did somebody just come in? I'm only missing one person. Okay, I don't see him. Side view, sorry, side view. Perfect side view. Once again, a circle, and then you just bring a line down, because he's gonna be facing this way. This is a male, and his jaw kind of comes up, and then it kicks in here like that. So remember, the eyes are a little bit below the center line. So his eye, all I'm going to do is an eye like that, and his nose lines up with his eye as well. Just like that. And the ears are, I don't know where they are. I know they line up with so there, and a nose. And that's all I do for side view. Oh, maybe I'll put in a neck. If I need a neck, I'll put in a neck. So I'll go a little bit darker on this. And that's how I draw a male head, and then a female's head is just the same as this, but way smoother, not so angular. So let me do a female head. Round, circle, crosshairs. Okay, the front, the kind of mouth and stuff, but it's way more curvy and more like this. And the neck kind of has a little archway and then straight down. Or there's a little arch in there also, actually. But anyway, this is basically a female head. And then so the eyes right in here, little nose, smaller nose. And if you want to put in a mouth, I don't like to go too deep on this because I can't draw humans really well. And so, but anyway, this is, oops. This is supposed to be a female. She has way too thick a neck, but whatever. But those are the basic proportions of skull, front view and side view. 3/4 view's the same. So what happens with the 3/4 view? We start off with a circle, and we're cutting this. It's a ball. Pretend it's a ball, and we're going to cut off the sides of the head. So that's, and so crosshairs. In this case, I'm doing a cross there, and then since it's a ball 3/4 view, I'm doing a center line, and then chin. And okay, so I got the chin. The eyes and ears are a little bit, so the ears, okay, eyes, ear, nose, and another eye over there, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then an ear, I'm just going to wing it. I don't know how it, there, and then so there, and then a mouth. So that's, oh yeah, and then the neck, hold on, neck, curvy in the back, and kind of straightish in the front. And I'll just go over that again. I made his jaw go too far back, but you know, as I say, I'm not great at humans. So that's how you do a 3/4 view of a skull. If you want a hairline, okay, if you want a hairline, it goes something like this. And I'm going to go back to my drawings down here. Hairline is just, let's just do a very classic hairline, which is but there's many different hairlines. And then you add a little bit of hair if you need it for like headphones. But you generally don't need this hairlines and stuff. But anyway, his hairline's a bit high. For women, I guess it's the same. But I tend to do stuff like this. I try to do the cliche stuff, you know, like, well, this could be a boy as well. I don't really know. And I hope I'm not sounding sexist and things. I guess this could be a boy. But anyway, let's just do the cliche girl stuff. There, and then the male. There's a lot of different hairstyles you can do. But generally, this shape is a hairline for male and female. I'm not even going to put it on the 3D stuff. I don't want to embarrass myself with the terrible drawing. I'll do one more 3D. How about something like a top-down view? So always starting with the circle. Okay, there's my circle. The shadows are getting bad, aren't they? Okay, whatever. So let me try something. Okay, this time I'm putting the, so it's going to be a little bit of a downward facing, and then eyes, ears, nose, mouth. And this is a little bit of a downward face, you know, you're from above view. But it's always starting off with a circle, and then you put the neck in. And a great thing about this view is you can put a neck like a collar or whatever necklace down there to help reiterate the fact that it's a neck. and then body parts. And so that's basically how I draw heads, always starting with the circle. Is that kind of, everyone gets that, I assume? Yeah? Okay, great. So those
Just
are
so
heads.
you your ear should be behind the halfway, the vertical line that you put
Yes.
in, like on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
side view.
Uh,
It should be right behind that, and then your jaw should come up to meet the bottom of your ear. So then your jaw won't go so far back. You should have more neck exposed in the back.
yes, basically, yeah. I kind of, well, this is, as I say, I'm not a human, really good at the humans. And I
Yeah.
learned this from drawing comics. I bought some comic book, how to draw comics books to try to learn stuff. And also I used it to rip off hands, learn how to draw hands and feet and these facial expressions and hair and clothes. And I bought some of these books so I could kind of rip it off if I have to get very human-esque. And so that's how I learned this. By the way, I'm just thinking the side view has a circle going around it. Because we're cutting the ball, we're cutting the sides off, and so therefore you would see. But Max, yeah. So here's the center line of the circle. Below, just a little bit below that is the eyes, and the nose connects with the eyes because the bridge of your nose lines up with your eyes, and then your ears are the same height. I think. I'm gonna look at myself. Yeah, basically they're a little bit about the same height as your eyes. And this is just stuff I learned from this comic, How to Draw Comics book. I'll put a hairline on this one because it just needs it. Because, okay, it dives down in the middle and then it gets into the sideburns. Oh God, now I'm really showing you how crappy I am at drawing hair. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks like a helmet. Okay, that was for you, Advaith, because I know you're doing heads. So that was for you, but I think it's good for everyone because you're all going to draw heads at some point. Okay, well, to continue on this little talk about using this marker, you can get away with murder with this marker because it's so light, and anything you put on top is going to be much stronger. You will eventually not even see the gray marker underneath. But with these heads, I'm going to go with a little Sharpie on top of that gray marker. And let's see what happens. And we're not in my comfort zone at all. But let's see. Okay, I'm going to start off with an easy one, like this male head. Okay, I'm going to do his side. I'm going to do his hairline. His jaw. His eyes. I start off with straight lines, and then, oh my God, I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm going to move on before. That's the shape of a nose. The underneath, the stylized shape of the shadow of the nose, and then the mouth. Hold on, how does that work? It's just stylized shapes. Oh man, now it's looking like a robot. No, I'm not even gonna, you know what? This is not, I'm not a comic book drawer. So I'm teaching the wrong thing because I can't teach this, but I'm gonna use this and design some headphones for this guy. I've already built the mannequin so I can build headphones on it. So I'm gonna tell you how I use this. This is a no-no. I don't wanna go there. But let me just build some headphones based off this skull. And just show you like how to use the skull. So in this case, and maybe it has some built-in glasses, VR glasses. So let's put that in. And so there I've got a basic kind of thing going on. Okay, now with the Sharpie, I'm going dark underneath because of course the shadow. I'm gonna say that the sunlight is coming from way up here. Sunlight's coming from there. And let's just shade this in a little. Give it a little bit of love, you know, and also I'll just add some details. Maybe some techie stuff. And then here, I'll just give this a core and some padding around here. So padding works like this. Headphones are normally padded. They don't pad all the way around. They just pad just the top of your head. So there, that's the padding. And then let's just put a logo in there, Sony. S-O-N-Y. So N and Y. This is a Sony headphone, VR headset. Just put in some styling. Okay, and so, you know what? I don't want the head to distract. I'm going to be crappy at drawing a head, so I don't want it to distract. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the game with my gray marker. And I'm going to have a gray 60. I've got a 60 here. So I'm going to use this gray 60 and go over my head that I drew earlier and just put in these elements. So it's not too distracting away from my, but you know, 60s maybe a little too harsh. It looks a little harsh, to be honest. I'll drop some shadows in this because my sun is coming here, my light source, and so shadow back here, on top of the head at least. And I will shade all of that in to pop my headphone device off. It's just adding a little bit of 3D. And I'm not gonna embellish the head because I don't want to distract it from my design. So there we go. And you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this 60% marker because it's too harsh. I'm gonna go to a 40 because my first heads were 20%. And just find, I think I have a, this is gonna be interesting to see what the difference is between the 40. This is a 40, the 60, and the, so I felt this was a little too harsh. So let me draw another set of headphones and then I will use this. In this case, I'm gonna put some headphones on this woman. I'm gonna go super thin. Something a little bit stylish that kind of looks like earmuffs. And a very simple band that goes around. By the way, headphones go above the head. I mean, okay, that's obvious, but what I mean is there's a gap. It sits on the hair, basically. So anyway, this is gonna be super thin, and it looks so thin, it doesn't look funky at all, but I'll add some funk to it, like, I don't know, just because you don't really see much, I'm gonna add little circles. Like maybe instead of pads, it has small pads. I don't really know. But it's a texture as well. It's a repetitive pattern. repetitive pattern always looks good on drawings. And a little bit of cushioning here and here. And maybe some sort of, to just give it something, a little something, I'm going to do an antenna on one side because I like asymmetry. So maybe there, that's it. And so that's a front view. Oh, she's a VR, it's a VR thing. So let's put some things around her eyes. Just some simple shapes. I gotta go around her nose. I don't have to. A lot of VR sets don't do that, but so just kind of winging it a little bit. And VR headsets generally fit, they touch your forehead. They have padding in them. So that's what this is. And I'm just gonna shake all that in. And this is gonna be one big screen. And I'm just gonna depict that with straight lines. And I'm gonna drop the shadow in. And I know there's noses and I know there's all that, but I don't wanna get wrapped into drawing humans. So that's my drop shadow. And I'm just gonna color all that in. Okay, it looks a little weird because of course there's facial features, but I'm basically good with this. Not brilliant, but hey, it's an idea. 3/4 view. I'm gonna put on some headphones on this guy. Headphones go up and around. Actually, headphones, if they're not on a human, when they're on a human, they're straight like this. But when they're not on a human, headphones are like this. They kind of join together because it's a spring-loaded thingy. And when they're not on a human and they're just hanging out on your desk, they look like that because of the spring stuff. And then they spread out as you go around. So anyway, here's a headphone. Let's put in a strap thing, a headband. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Some padding. And just do a little bit of shading. A little bit of shadow underneath. Not much. And a little bit of shading under here. Maybe some bolts. It needs something. Maybe a volume knob in the middle. It's a volume knob. I guess I could put it on this side as well. To show what the inside of the headphones look like. It's basically the same as that. And this is where the speaker is, so I'm going to put in dots. When you do dots, don't just go randomly. Put them in a systematic way so they look cohesive and not junky. So there's some speaker grill thing. A little bit of darkness underneath. Maybe a highlight here, highlight here. Let's see what the underneath of that headphone, the headphone band. You have to design the underneath of that. So here I have a pad. So I'm going to line that pad up with that side. And I'm going to put the word Sony in here. That's enough. And you know what? I'm going to get a little funky with this thing. I'm going to put a frame structure in it to lighten it up. I'm going to make it a little bit different. And this frame structure, you're going to see coming through here. So that. So I use the head as the base, but then you don't see the head anymore. I guess I could draw the head in. Now let's try this cool grade 40. Sorry, these things are very badly designed. These are cheap Blick Studio. Blick, this is Blick brand. So they're the cheap ones, but they were free. I got a bunch of free ones from Blick. So they're terribly designed. You cannot find the damn writing of what this is. Cool gray 40. It takes me ages. And look at the tips. The tips, it doesn't tell you what this thing is. It just, whereas Copac or Chartpack, Chartpack are generous to show me it's 2, and the 2 is written in blue, so I know it's a cool gray. And then the warm grays are red 2. And this is easy. I can easily find a 2 and whatever, but these ones, these Blicks are not great, but if you're on a budget, I guess they'll do. So I guess on this one, I'm just gonna go with my cool gray 40. I'm gonna get in that headline, hairline, sorry. His eyes, his nose, his mouth and chin, neck, back of his head. So at least we get an idea. There's an ear in there. Actually, that's kind of looking kind of cool. I'm gonna embellish this with a cool gray 40. I think I found the right one. Cool gray 40 works. And you know what? I'm only just gonna, since my light is coming from this side, I'm only gonna shade up on this part of the, I'm only gonna shade this part of this woman's head. And it should look cool. Okay, I'm gonna do her lips. I'll do her nose, her bottom lip shadow. And so, and now actually, I can actually do something that looks halfway okay on this one. I'll do her nose, because half of her nose is in shadow. So that kind of looks kind of cool. Well, who knew? All right. Now let's start designing something that's relevant for you. I'll scan this. I'll scan this and post it up on Blackboard. Okay, power tools. Give me some examples of power tools apart from grinder. Rotary saw, drill. So who else is on the power tools power tools studio? Max, you are. What are you designing, Max?
I got a orbital sander.
Orbital sander. Oh, that's right. And when you say orbital sander, it's those little things that here and down here vibrates. Yes?
Yeah. It's it just jiggles around. There's orbital which spin, and then there's random orbital which just kind of shake randomly, which is the point. But yeah, it's kind of just a simple cylindrical shape.
I understand. Let's do some of those sanders then. And I'm using a cool gray. I think it's a 20. Cool gray 20. Now, you know how I am. You know how I like to start with geometrical shapes. And you see that's how I start everything. I'm gonna start with a circle. And I'm gonna start off with an ellipse down here. I'm just gonna instantly fill my page up with thumbnails with geometric shapes. And another ellipse. So I've got to start here. Now, I've already got 3 concepts on the go. I'm going to work them all together. So I'm going to just start, chopping and adding, and just start just playing around. So I don't know what else to do with this. So I'm going to move on. Don't force a drawing. If you don't know what to do with it, you can easily ruin it by just forcing some BS onto it. So just leave it. This is looking kind of ugly to me, but I'm not going to throw it away. I'm good. I'm going to leave it for now. Let's move on. Let's see what I can do on this. So I'm going to start putting in some contour curves to help give it some volume. And maybe this one.
Hey, Brooke.
Yes. Yeah?
It might just be me, but I can't really see the drawing. It's not really focused all that great. It might just be me, though.
Oh, you know what, Darius, I can barely see it myself. Seriously, because I'm drawing with this really light marker. Let me adjust it. So basically what you guys are seeing is really what it looks like. In fact, here, I'm going to shine it up to my camera. You can barely see this. I can barely see it, but that's the point. You really can't even see. So my camera is actually quite accurate of what I'm seeing. And that's the point actually of this. But I'll crank up some settings. Exposure. Let me crank it up. Okay. You see, even if I crank stuff up, it's super light. And that's the whole point of this. Let me just try the white balance. This changes its color. So no, really, Darius, what you see is really how it is.
I got you.
Yeah, it's purposely super light. So yeah, you can actually see it better on my camera than I can see it on this paper. Okay, so anyway, let me just continue on some more ideas. So I've got these elliptical ones, but this elliptical one, I'm going to square it off because some of them are squarey. So I'm just going to do that and then just add some volume and something on the bottom. Normally, aren't these normally round shape?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The center at least is round, but the housing doesn't necessarily have to be round.
Right, the housing does not, you're right. But okay, I'm going to do a squircle for the bottom. It should be round, I understand, but this is going to be a squircle design. A squircle is like in between a circle and a square. So this is a squircly type of thing. And I'm going to put in some contour curves and start filling out some elements of this. Okay, there's one idea, and then this one here. Man, there's a big fire. There's a big fire going on. Okay, this is another one, and it comes down and it goes over. That's one idea, two ideas, and this one down here is ugly as hell. But I'm gonna work with it, and I'm gonna put a contour curve in there. And I don't think this one's gonna work, but I'm gonna work it anyway. Okay, so yes, you can barely see anything, but at least I busted out 3 ideas, and I got room for one more up here. This one's gonna be square. I'm gonna start off with a square on the top, a box or something. So it's a box on the top, and then I know it gets into a circle down below. So just keeping geometrically. These don't smell too bad. I like the really smelly ones. I personally like that. It means you got a good quality marker. But this smells a little bit, but not much. Okay, so I've got some stuff. You know what, I'm just gonna start using this thick marker, start fleshing in some stuff. Honestly, I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but at least I know my ellipses are gonna be more or less okay. So they're filling that in, and then this one's gonna be in front of them, because there's an overlap with this one and this one. So I'm gonna make this one in front. Okay, that's a square one, and then this one's in the back. And I'm just like, you know, just being free. I'm just kind of being free about how I'm sketching and just trying to be very suggestive instead of hardcore. That's what this allows me to do. And I'm gonna even start filling in some sides. I'm gonna even start filling in some stuff. I'm gonna say my light is over here. So that means my cores are gonna be in here. And just loose, because it doesn't really matter if it doesn't look great, because honestly, you won't see this once you start putting in Sharpie. So I'm just filling in, just very abstracty, all stuff that is shadowed, shadow on this side. Same with this one. Same with this one. Same with this one. Okay. So I've got some basic shapes very loosely roughed in. Now I'm going to get into my Sharpie. Sharpie works best with this system. Ballpoint pen's pretty good, but Sharpie, because Sharpie just is so bold, it really works nice. So I'm going to get in there with the Sharpie. Now I'm going to start putting some construction lines in because I got to start getting a little bit all about stuff. So that I'm going to start putting in some ellipses. And I'm just going to be loose about this whole thing. Okay, that's one orbital sander. Let's do this one. I'm going to put in a center line because orbital sanders need to be kind of symmetrical, I would have thought. So flicky, flicky, very loose. And now I'm just going to get into this orbital world, ellipse world. And round off my corners. So I'm good to go with this one. Basically, I'm good to go with this one. I build them all because I don't want to force all my drawing. I don't want to force doing this one only, and then this one, and then this one. I like to work them all in at the same time. So that's why I'm being super loose with all of them. Put in a center line on this little guy. Looks like a mushroom from Super Mario Bros. There's another one, but this one's in front. That's why I didn't complete my ellipses. So let me just do another center line. Get those ellipses built in. Squircle. Squircle has rounded edges. And let's just duplicate these shapes. And underneath, you said it's round, so let's go round. Okay, starting to get some ideas here. Let's just start fleshing some of this stuff in. Contour curves. Contour curves on here. Flicky, flicky, as I said. Contour curves in here. Don't know what's going on yet. Oh, this looks cool. I just see something. I'm gonna have to put this in a little hard now because I see something. This is, okay, I know this is gonna sound super childish, but you know when you were a kid, you were asked, no, you know, you're really, really a kid. In fact, I guess we still do it nowadays. Hopefully you still have kid left in you. You look at the clouds and you're like, oh, that looks like a dinosaur, or that looks like a dragon, or wow, whatever. And you kind of got to look at these clouds from these very loose, light, 20% marker drawings. And use your third eye to see what it looks like inside there. So that's basically what I'm doing. Let's just call it the cloud technique. Just use the cloud technique. Just slowly work your way around. Okay. Okay, now let's get in there a little bit more. Now I'm gonna just get in, I have a lot of loose stuff, which I don't know what's gonna go on yet, but I'm gonna start getting into the one nearest me, which is this one. And I'm gonna start getting in the stuff that I know. So stuff that I know is, this is gonna be a squircly shape. And so I'm gonna start getting in that darker line weight down here where it's shadowy. Okay. And I'm gonna have to get very loose on this. I don't think I'm gonna focus too much on the bottom because it's gonna be kind of the same, but we'll play it by ear. Now let's just try to get this ellipse right. I'm gonna go light and loose, shaky. Try not to go too much over it. Okay, there, and let's put another one on top. And then a contour line showing that it has some three-dimensionality. Oh my gosh, I hope I'm not ruining this. Started off pretty good. Let's put in some part lines where two parts come together for molding reasons. Part lines are a really easy way. It's kind of a contour curve, contour line, but it's actually production stuff. So, and then let's add some extra thickness around these curves because I want it to be a nice roundy type of approach. I went a little over the top on that circle and I'm kind of pissed off with myself for doing that. My light's over here. I have to put that on as a reminder because I'm going to be putting shadows back. So this disc that sits at the bottom, let's just quickly bust that in. I'll try to use my wrist so I can have fluid movements instead of this shaky janky. Let's put in, I'm going to put in finger holes in here. That's what that's meant to symbolize. I'll put in a contour curve. So I'm going to do the flicky on this with the ellipse. And I'll put some grips because actually that's where your palm goes, but whatever, it's fine. And I'm going to put in some, so you put your palm on, so I'm going to put in some molded grips. Basically following my contour curve. Okay, and so I'm just going to in them all at the bottom so they're all the same, and the top And looks like I've got something in here I can use. Okay, that's another one. Let's put a little cord on this. Let's put a cord on this. If I'm on cords, I might as well do them all. Cord on this one. Actually, that's where the hand goes. I'm going to put a cord down here. And a cord back here. And I think I'm going to make this one funky, a little funky. Make it go like that. Just to frame my picture up a little bit. Okay. Let's move on. Flicky flicky on this part. Notice how the line weights are working. So when they join, when things join, like right here's an example. This one's behind this one, and so I have it dark under here, but where they join, I'm gonna make that a strong line. And also the same with this one. There's one behind, and then I've got this one here. And that's gonna go, I'm gonna just leave it. I'm not even gonna finish that drawing, finish that line. It's good enough. And I know down here is gonna be a shadow line. And this one too, this one, I know this for sure down here is a shadow line. I've got a fresh, juicy, I've got a really fresh, juicy Sharpie here, so it's performing very nicely. And then this part. Now, the light's coming from here, so I'm just gonna do the wrist flicker. I'm gonna do that only in the dark, shadowy areas. There's gonna be a part line right here, and I'm gonna make that dark. I'm gonna put bolts in there. So accidentally I put one there. And this is gonna be bolts. So that's that. So I'm gonna start getting into some details like, I don't know, I don't even know what this is, but it's just gonna be some sort of texture-y thing. Goes around. I might be able to leave this abstract. I hope I can leave this abstract. Because what I'd like to do is just leave it loose like this and just put on some cool marker on top and call it a day as far as this drawing is concerned. But let's just see. Let's just see. So I have to be careful not to go too far and get all you know, overdrawing everything and overdoing it. You just want to keep it loose. Let's put in some extra lines. Don't ask me. Well, there is concept behind it. That's where the sandpaper goes. The same with this one. I'm going to do the same here. I guess the sandpaper goes up here. I don't know. But there is thought behind it. This one, there's going to be, I'm going to do an extra. There's a foam pad, and then the sandpaper goes underneath. I'm going to put in some clip or something right here where you have to unclip the thing, or I don't even know. Right there, you stick your finger in maybe, and maybe the sandpaper comes off. I don't know. So if I've got a cord on this one, the one nearest me, the cord's coming out. This is obviously the back, and this is obviously the front. So let's give it some frontal expression, like a face or headlights you know, like a vacuum cleaner or Hoover. Vacuum cleaners, they've got a headlight on the front. You know, just give it that frontal thing. So let's give it a grill, okay? Because it's got to breathe. The motor in there's got to breathe. So I'm going to put in a grill. And I'm going to put in some bolts in here to clamp the whole thing down. And let's just style up this grill, whatever you want to call it, as in just like a surround of a different color. Good like that. On the side here, maybe your hand is on it. You really have to kind of imagine your situation, holding it. A hand, my thumb is very tactile, so that's where my switch on and off is going to be, so I'll put that in here. I'll put in that switch right about here. You got to put the depth of the switch and how it slides. You've got to put all that in. Otherwise, nobody will know what the hell you're talking about. So there, there. So that's my switch on that side. And on this ugly beast, I'm going to have to do something. So it's ball thing, you're holding it. Okay, I know what to do. So this is the back, obviously. And so the back, the cord's coming. My thumb is the most easiest to probably maneuver. So my hand is like that. So I'm going to put in a switch in here. And the switch is going to go right in here. So that's a switch. Let me just stop that there. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that whole thing, and I'm just going to say this whole area is some sort of color block for the thumb and the switch. And I'll put in some stripes in there just because I need to kick it off somehow. Okay, so there's a switch in there. Switch, switch. This one, the back is here. So the switch is going to, and I'm using my right hand, switch with the thumb. It's going to go right. I've already put a bolt in there, unfortunately, but I'm going to fix that. We're going to, I've made it so black already. All right. I'm going to make it stand proud. It's going to go in like that, and there's going to be a switch inside. So that is a switch right in there. Oh, damn it. Okay, whatever. And then this one. So the cord is in the back, so I need my thumb. So the thumb's going to be here. So I'm going to cut a piece out. And I'm going to put a switch in there. It's a sliding switch. And I'm going to put a contour curve in there because I don't know what's going on. Well, I've already started that contour curve, so now it's going to be a part line. So the top and the bottom casing, I've already started it, so, and then it goes here and around. This guy, oh, I've already put a switch, I'm good. All right, I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to call it quits on that. I'm going to start putting in some marker because I feel like it's sloppy, but I'm going to use that cool gray 40 because 20 is not going to be strong enough. 40. And since my light's coming from behind, I'm going to just start shading up all this back part. I'm going to be loosey-goosey on this big time.
Hey, Brooke, I had a quick question.
Sure.
If you don't have anything else that you're gonna be drawing after this, could you maybe like use a few of those sketches to like show us how to do like a good page layout with like maybe like a perspective view and like a top and side ortho and then maybe like a hand like using it or something like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I'll put a hand on this. But yes, on the next one, yes. I'm going to put a hand on this one.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. Good call. Darkness, shadow, because the head of these things casts a shadow. So the shadow is going to be back here somewhere. Man, these things actually smell pretty good. Okay, shadow, shadow, shadow. Shadow, shadow, shadow. Loosey goosey. Little shadow along here. Shadows in the finger dimensions. And inside the bolt holes, underneath the cable. And a hand. I'm gonna go back to my cool gray 20 because I know I might mess the hand up, so I don't want to make it too obvious. I'm gonna look at my hand. It's gonna work out perfect. So I'm gonna pretend my hand is literally on this one right here. I'm like this. The cord is underneath my palm, my wrist. So that's how it is. So my thumb comes out. I really look at my hand. There's an archway. My thumb comes in here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is get into the 40 because I can't see what the hell's happening. Okay, I got it. Fingers and hands are made up of straight lines. Okay, I'll show you what I mean in a sec. And I'll do a quick overview on this with a there's a hand, but it kind of ruined the whole design. Anyway, that's how it goes. So yes, I hear you. I just want to add a little bit more marker on this. And since I screwed that hand up, I know I didn't screw it up too bad, but what I'm going to do is I might as well go to town with this. And what's going on under here is I can get detail. I can actually use the hand as a benefit because now I can get inside, and I might have messed up some stuff underneath, but I'm going to use the hand as a device to hide my mistakes. I'm going to put a shadow underneath that hand. Just shade that in. And anything inside the hand, I'm not doing. Like, I'm not putting any details of the sander inside there. And then, so the same goes here. I can shade all this down here. Everything outside of the thumb. And the hand casts a shadow also. Let me just whack that in with the cool gray 40. So now I can get contour curves with that shadow. So the shadow goes here. I'm just going to shade all that in. Nice, neat, parallel lines. Fade it out as it goes out. Here's my switch. I'm going to use a color block for that, and I'm going to put in some orange. Oh, orange is always a good color for this stuff. I'm going to color in all my switches orange. So I got color pop. Color pops right in here. And here's another one. So I've got a color pop. This one, unfortunately, I can't see very clearly, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to put in some screws. I'm going to put in a logo. Since the back is that way, you want the logo to be facing the user. So this is going to be a logo in here. Stanley. So now I've started the logo thing. I got to put logos on it all. So let's do it. Let's do it right up here. Another logo up here. So that's why I like working on all of them at the same time, because you have consistency and you do everything. If you're doing logos, you might as well do them all at the same time. And so like I did all at the same time, I did all of the orange pop on the switches. I did all the switches at the same time. I did all the bolts at the same time. I did all the cords at the same time. So that's why I like to do, I did all the foundations. So that's why I like to do them in this way, because it just makes it hella easier. Anyway, logos. Logo in this way, Stanley's back up and down. Stanley. I can't see a logo here. So now let's just go into the chord. Chords are fun. I just do all the shadows at once. That one's done. There is no chord here. So the chords are fun. I like to, it's basically an ellipse, how it joins to whatever. And then just start shading. So I start, and as I get closer to the device, I get tighter in. There, and this one here. And as I go out, I fade it out. This one here is, I did it accidentally already. Okay, the light's coming here, we're good, we're good. Add a little extra shading on this side. And I'm gonna do some extra shading on this side. This one here. It's definitely a shadow. Put that in. And do a gradient shadow here. And there's definitely a shadow here, squarey one. This one, I'm just gonna go straight up and down. I could screw this one up. But I'm going to shade it here. Could be a texture, could be a shadow, who knows. And finally this one too. Oh, there's a shadow here, there's a shadow here, there's a shadow here, there's a shadow here, there's a shadow here. And I'm just going to use gray because it's too tiring to do it with just Sharpie. So this big 40 gray beast. You know, I might even be able to get in. Might even be able to get my 60 in, which I screwed the head up with that 60. But you know what? I think I can use it. Just get in there. Okay. And finally, let's try that 60. I'll put it just for the final. I'm not even gonna put paint on this, but underwear, there's definite shadows. Definite shadows here, and there's definitely shadow here. Definitely shadows here, I know that for sure. Maybe one here. Maybe little shadows underneath each of these little grips. And here, underneath the chords. Maybe here. This is the most abstract thing ever. Just give it that extra contrast. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's kind of sloppy, but quick and effortless. So how long did that take? I don't know. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know. So let's just say, what is this called? Orbital sander. Stanley. I don't know how to spell Stanley. Now I look like a dumbass for writing. Okay, there we go.
So when you critiqued mine, you said that I needed to like convey what it was, that it was a sander,
Mm-hmm.
and you suggested using like
Smoke,
dust, drawing dust and smoke.
Thank you. I'm gonna
So
do it.
two things: one, can you show like should we use the marker or should we use the Sharpie pen? And for my project, the whole point is that it's really good at dust collection because people don't like how bad they are at it. So then showing dust outside would be like against what it's doing. So is there like another way I could do that without
Yes.
showing that?
We're gonna do it with vibrations. So we're gonna show this thing vibrating because it basically vibrates. So there's some vibrations, and I'm gonna stick a few vibrations here and there. And that's because you're trying to tell everyone that it's not a dusty beast. So just a few vibrations. So that helps. I'm not gonna put dust storms around because obviously that's the whole point of your design. So, oh, here, I know what to do. And I'm only do it here. And what I'm gonna do is draw wood. I need a ruler, one sec. Just want to get this lined up because this is a piece of, I'm pretending this is a 2x4. It's got wood grain in it. So I'm going to show the sanded part and the non-sanded part. So in fact, I'm going to get on the thick Sharpie stuff. Actually, I'm going to get on the thick Sharpie because now I'm in it. So this is perspective wood. Okay, perspective wood, and this side's all going to be hairy and nasty. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do some little like hairs. You know how wood kind of, when it gets freshly cut, and honestly, I've never drawn this before, so we'll see. Some vibrations. So that's wood. So this is all hairy and nasty, but on the other side, it's going to be smooth as a baby's bottom. So there's a little bit of difference. I didn't get my perspective exactly right, but here's dirty and nasty, hairy, and here's smooth. And I didn't do it perfectly, but at least I'm trying to get that impression without using dust. So basically you have to think about the situation, Max, about how, you have to think like I thought. I've never done a duster. I mean, I've never done one of these things before, but I know what you're trying to convey. And so that's that. I had to think, all right, well, how can I show this without dust Well, it sans wood. I know it can do cars, whatever, but let's say it sans wood. The purpose of the machine is to make it smooth. So let's start off with something rough, i.e. this, all roughy and hairy. And then as it's done sanding, all this back here is really nice and smooth, which I tried to portray here, but I kind of screwed it up. What I would have done, actually, I should have like used a ruler on this back part. In fact, okay, let's do it. I'll use a ruler on this back part to look super clinical. Let's see if I can do it. I've already screwed it up because I drew those lines. But let me see if I can make it look more graphic and clean. Is basically what I'm trying to do. Well, I didn't do a great job of it, but you know what I'm saying. I might even mess this up a little. But I don't want to overdo it because you're going to ruin your drawing super quick if you jack with it too much. Well, now we're at it. Now we're on it, and I'm going to be quick on this. This is a sketch, but I'm going to get onto the thick side of the Sharpie. So it's a twin tip. I was using thin for all of this, but on the twin tip, there's the thick side. Let me test it. Oh, this is not good. It's too new. This is too good because it's too sharp. I don't want that. I want something thick. So let's just try this. Ah, these are too new. Whatever. Sharp. I'm going to, because I see some areas where I could really pop these suckers off and really get that line weight going. Like where these join. And then here, the shadow, because it's shadow, I can really pop that one off. Down underneath here. And I was actually thinking about this. This is, to me, whenever I see a little crevice that's easy to shade, I just want to do it because it feels good. Like this little cubby hole in here, it looks just fun to render. So I'll quickly do that. And it's shadow anyway, so it works in my favor. Oh, now I'm starting to come up with a theme of some central stuff going through. So it looks like I'm onto that. So let me. Okay, shadow's going to go down here. So let's just fill this in. And then the shadow is here. Let's do it here. This is like a Picasso piece. And I'm talking about his abstract ones. So okay, I'm done. If I do any more, it's already going too much. Oh, sorry about all this stuff. Could you see all of that? Okay. There. So Max, you're gonna have to put some thought into what you want to depict. And that's why I came up with that idea. I'm sure there's other ways. For example, the orbital sander can probably be used as a buffer. So the reason why I'm thinking that is, what if you had a very shiny glass surface or very shiny surface, plastic surface, so as the sander goes over, or let's call it buffer for now. The buffer goes over the surface. Wherever the buffer has been, it's going to be super shiny, crispy reflection lines. But where it has not been, all around it is going to be speckledy, dirty, shitty. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I just have to kind of figure that storytelling out. And I did a little storytelling on this. Hey, let me have a 2:30. I think we finish at 3. Oh. I'm gonna whack some music on as well. I'm gonna whack some music on in a sec. VisCom 2. Oh, 3:30. I'm gonna have a 5-minute break, okay? And then I'm gonna move on to now. Who was asking me about the somebody had a request, and I'm gonna think about it for a second. Stephanie, was it you? Hey, Tamoya. Who had a request? Gosh darn it, everyone's gone. All right.
Hey.
No, it was Kat. Stephanie and I guess, sound alike on Zoom, maybe.
Oh, so wait, Kat, were you asking for that? Because I didn't look up to see who was talking.
Yeah, for the page.
Yes, tell me again what you'd like to see.
So like just like a general page layout of like maybe like the perspective that you were talking about like on this page, but then you also said you wanted to see like a side and a top orthography
Oh,
and yeah, just like what you think a good sketch page layout would be.
I understand. I got you. I got you. I totally got you. All right, I'm just going to turn off my video camera and just do it. I have a quick break. I'm going to go grab a drink or something, and I'll be right back, okay? 5 minutes. No, don't need it. We've already got it. And I'll be like, woo! And so I'll be, and I'll shout out, it's my birthday. Okay, I'm back. Turn on my video. You know, I should have actually put this down a little bit so you can see me drawing, not my face. Okay, Katerina, are you with us?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, great.
I'm right here.
Well, I made a mistake in terms of drawing my sketchbook. I should have put a piece of paper between because I ruined a piece of paper. So try to put a piece of paper. If you're doing marker in your sketchbook, the Sharpie will bleed through really a lot. So try to put a piece of paper in. I forgot. I guess I'll draw on this anyway, because sometimes these little mistakes kind of look cool. So let's see what happens. So if you don't mind, I'm on the sander thing. Let me turn this down. I need a little music in the background. So I'll have it down low so you guys aren't distracted, but I need it. Okay. I'm on the sander. I'm on that rotary sander. So I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start off with an orthographic, and I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna do it landscape. Set this up. So I'm gonna set up my composition with just simple shapes, geometric shapes of this thing. So I'm gonna start off with a baseline. And hopefully I'll have room over here. I'm kind of planning. I'll have room over here for 3D. But let's just go. Oh, I'm gonna do the marker. Oh, I need a piece of paper under here. Okay. And I use a fresh. That's another reason why I buy a ream for $5 of photocopy paper, because I don't care if I ruin the paper because it's not expensive. So fresh sheet under here, and I'm gonna start off with this light gray, cool gray 20. That's 40. And I'm putting these away. If you have these 3 gray markers, I have these 3 gray markers. They're so similar that I'd accidentally pull out this 60, start drawing with it, and I'll like, damn it, I messed up. So I'm gonna put these away. Just put them in my pencil can, so I don't accidentally pick one up. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with, you know what, this bothers me. I'm gonna start fresh. Those little mess ups can mess you up as well. So I'm gonna start off with the baseline. And yes, it is very light, so the camera's not acting up. I'll start off with a side view, and I'll start off with a basic box. So that's a side view. I'm gonna remind myself it's a side view by putting a chord on it. Okay, the chord is in the back, so this is the direction the thing's gonna go. Sunlight this way, so my lighting is all gonna be consistent. Side view, I'll do a front view. I'll build up a construction of, so to make sure it's all kind of level and equal. So this is going to be the front view. And then the top view is going to be lined up down here. So I'll get the same width as that side view. And it's going to be a circle. So now I've got my composition. I'm good as far as composition. And down here, I'll do 3D. In fact, I'll just do a quick one now just to start, because I kind of work all 4 views together. If I put a switch here, I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put it on the 3D view. So let's just start off with a round, simple geometrical shapes. Okay, so I've got my, oops, those ellipses are a little off. Let's just get them right. Okay, but thank goodness I'm on a light marker, so it doesn't matter. So those are my 4 views, and then I guess here I'm going to write text. There's a space there for text. Okay, so start rounding this guy off because I know it needs to be ergonomic. Give it some little roundy elements. Down here, kind of, I think it gets thinner. Honestly, I don't remember what these things look like. I do kind of, but not really. Put a center line in there so I know, so I'm centered up with my circle, top view. I'm just gonna go side. I'm just gonna write side. I know you can barely see that side. No, That's side. This is front. Front, top. Just so I can remember. And then so it's going to spray out here. Okay. Side view. And since it's side view, my thumb is on the side, so I would have thought that's the best way to turn it on and off. So I'll put in a switch here. Geometric shapes, a pill shape. That's where my switch is going to go, somewhere in there. Side view. So since I've done the side view, now the front view is going to be basically the same silhouette. So it's going to have that roundy head, going to have roundy sides. Line up all my lines so it all matches. Kind of looks like a mushroom. Whatever that thing is, and then line that up. And then so here's my sander down here. So there's that. So front view, and since it's front view, it needs to have front, so I'm gonna give it a headlight. It's gonna have, let me put a center line in there just to make sure everything's centered. And this is a headlight. So that's a headlight, front view. And they look a little different, so I'll just try to sculpt them so they look similar. So there's my top view. Since my light's coming this way, I'm gonna work it the other way. Need a little extra. I'm gonna put in some shading in here. And since my light's coming from this way, I'm gonna start already putting in my cores. That's it, I'm just gonna go all the way. Because it's very light gray, so it doesn't matter. So that's the core there, same here. Shade that off. And a little bit here, a little bit there. And the same here, I'm gonna work this sucker in. So it's got little kind of mushroomy side. And then the disc underneath, it's kind of like a little base. Could be a lamp, could be jellyfish. Okay, and I'm just gonna put in the core in this one too. Top view, it's a dome basically, so I'm just gonna shade that in too. So I've established my light direction. Just do that one more time. Doesn't matter, I'm going outside the lines because it's very light. And there, okay. I'll put drop a shadow in here as well because that's the only one I'm really gonna see a shadow in. So I've kind of got my basic shapes. And now I can get in there with, I'm gonna try a little something different. I'm gonna go in there with a little bit of a darker marker, in this case, Cool 40. And I'm gonna try to get in there with some details. Well, I'm gonna waste time. I'm gonna go straight in with the Sharpie. I don't wanna waste time because we still got an hour. I might have time. Yeah, I've got time. I'm gonna go back into this Cool 40 and build up my marker. And I'm just only putting in shadows. So that's a shadow of the switch. There's gonna be a little thing here. The bottom is gonna be dark. And then inside here, I'm gonna make this black. I don't know what goes in here, to be honest. So there's that. I'm gonna do the same here. Shadow, because this is a headlight and it's gonna be a little bit of a recess. Okay, I'm gonna put in that parting line where the top and the bottom of the mold come together. So that's that. Start fleshing out the sides. This is the sanding part. Start. And then the base. And the shadow's gonna bust off onto the right. Same here, the shadow's gonna bust off onto the right. The circle, I would like to get on a circle ellipse on this, to be honest. I'm gonna see if I have one big enough. Over the years, you will have amassed a large amount of circle templates because you're always buying, well, I don't buy stuff anymore because I have everything, but over the years, you will slowly accumulate a bunch of equipment. And a lot of it, 20 years from now, a lot of it's going to be from school. And you'll still have that same stuff. So anyway, I'm on my Cool 40. Stupid design. Okay. I'm going to line this up with my center line. That's too big. That's about the right size. So let's just put this in. And I'm just going to just block in a shadow right in there. And since the shadow is going to be round, I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I'm just going to bust in a shadow here. I'll deal with it later, but that's a shadow. And this guy, I'm just going to go free. Let me try to get a little accurate on this ellipse. I have to go upside down on this. Let me draw that center line. I'm being a little risky I could use an ellipse guide. I have an ellipse guide probably big enough for this, but I'm gonna just leave it as is. It needs to be bigger. Just constantly adjusting. Okay, I'm gonna put in, what are they called? Contour lines. There. There. That's ugly. I'll put in a center line in here with my 40 marker. Okay, I'm basically getting there. I'm just about ready to get in there with the Sharpie. And here, this is dark, whatever this thing is. Make that darker on that side because press that in a little bit more. Top is not, okay, I'll put bolts in there. In fact, I'm gonna start getting back into this cool gray 20, and bolts is always a nice, tooly, tough thing. So put in an inner ring of rubber. I don't know what it is yet, but in fact, I'm gonna whack them both in at the same time. You can use your mouth if you need to take caps off. Okay, and now put some bolts in there. And I'm gonna go this hard one. Actually, I'm gonna go the soft one. I have both open at the same time. So I've done that. I'm gonna do the same over here. And I'll put some bolts in there. Besides the shadow side, so I'll make that a little tougher. Make sure that's all kind of round, equal distance. I can't get my hand over there because my sketchbook. Well, that's the shadow side, so that can be darker. And then finally, I'm gonna put in the sander, the actual physical sander part. Darkest on that side because it's obviously shadow. Okay, this side's shadowy. This side's shadowy, so go darker on this side. Bust in that hardcore shadow there. Do this from here. A little core in here. Damn it, now why is it doing that? Piece of crap. Okay, same here. I don't know why my marker's got black stuff on it, but it's super annoying here. But I'm not too worried because when I stick that, Sharpie on there, it'll be fine. dark here because that's shadow. I'm good like that, and I'm just going to shade this in straight. And as I go away, I'll fade off this side, core here. Rim of fire, and in here, gonna be the dark area because I'm making that dark in everything else. So core over there, core here. Fade that off. A little bit over here, and then definitely here. A little bit over here. A little bit over here. Now this is pissing me off because I don't know why it did that. I haven't touched anything dark, so here this is dark, dark. Just confirming all the dark stuff. You see, that's how I can keep it consistent because I'm constantly, okay, I do a dark piece in here. I gotta do the sandwich piece in there, the piece in there. So just being a system, doing it in a system makes everything a lot more, it's easier for you to remember things. Okay, I'm on my Sharpie now because I've got the basic shapes. Oh, let's do a chord. Let's do a chord. And I'm gonna go super light on this because I wanna be creative. So chord's gonna come from under here. Oh, F you. I don't know why this marker is doing this. I have not. I'm gonna choose a new one. I've got a whole bunch of these. I'll be back in a second. All right. 20. I guess you can say Blick is my sponsor. Anyway,
How did you get that?
because I'm a bad mother. No, because I do this thing called the Sketch Battle, big design contest, and we get all the best designers around in the city, and they come to my party, and it's basically a sketching contest, a design contest, and a sketching design contest, because sketching is competitive, and so let me just bust this in. But I can tell you all about Sketch Battle all day long. But it's a business of mine.
Do you already have it this year, or?
No, because of COVID. I was going to do it with the auto show. I mean, I do it with the auto show every year, the car design contest. I'm going to put a chord back here. Okay, so that's a chord, and then this is the front view, but there is still a chord coming out, so it's going to go and then come out here. So that's the chord behind. And then the chord is right here. Let's just say all the chords are coming out from the right. So, all right. So those are the chords. Basically, the sketch battle is, might as well get rulery. Sketching is competitive, especially in the automotive industry. And so everyone's in a competition to create the best sketch. And therefore, I made it into a contest, and I celebrate the designers as athletes, like football, college football. By the way, notice how I'm doing the lines. I'm starting, oh, they're different heights, but it's fine. I'm starting the darkest part where the core is when I'm doing these lines. I'll tell you about Sketch Battle later because I got to concentrate on this. So might as well do everything in a system, you know? That's what I'm doing here. Oh, this has got the headlight, I forgot. And then the tops. Flick that out so you get some nice line weights. Okay, so that one's plotted out. This one will be easy because it's just ellipses. Might as well do this now. Okay, so notice how I'm starting the Sharpie from the darkest area and then flicking it as I go around. So it gives that dynamic kind of appearance. Now, let's go move on. So I line it up visually. In this case, this side's going to be a shadow. And so I'm going to flick it out there. And I'm going to put another one in there also. One more smaller. And then when I get the Sharpie in, I'll be able to put in marker and it should not theoretically bleed. Theoretically, that is. Okay, dark here and fade that out. Okay, and let's put in one more. The thing is I don't have any ellipse. It's going to be, oh, here, I do have an ellipse. It works. Okay, I'm going to just continue on to this top one because it's kind of fun. I'm just going to bust in these systematically. I have my crosshair, so I'm going to start with the 4 crosshairs. And then I just eyeball it in between. Okay, that's how it's going to look on the top. The chord's going here. Oops, you know what? The chord needs to go straight out. And right now it's at a kink. So I'm going to just fix that little issue. 40. So it comes out from here and it goes this way. That looks way better if it comes out straight. Those little details matter. It's not, it is anal, but it's also important. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to draw in a center line through all of this because I want to make sure. There. I'm just going to go very light across the whole thing, just like that. And then also I'm using the center line to help construct. So right in here, this is the center line here. Hold on. I don't want to get too. I'll just go. I hope it's in the center. I'm risking it. I hope it's in the center. Okay. Because I need to measure stuff. So there, and then this is my switch stuff. So that side. And I'm just eyeballing it, just trying to make sure that, that it's all centered because I'm a little bit like that. Okay, let's put this headlight in. So I have it cut out, but I'm using that center line to make sure everything is basically, and then the headlight, oh, kind of did an accident there, but it works. There, and the headlight goes down here. So they can see what they're sanding. Okay, so I'm gonna do this a little easier. Instead of make it super curvy, I'm gonna do it something like this. So it's got a hard edge in there. It's gonna be super annoying for the person though. And I'm sure my boss will criticize me for that. Say, yeah, but it's gonna be painful right there where you rub it. Okay, so anyway, there, let's put in, I'm gonna bust it out from the right-hand side, the dome top, because this is where my shadow's coming, and so I don't really care what happens on the other side. Because it's a reflection. Oh, damn it. Okay, now let's do this. I'm gonna need an ellipse guide, but I'm gonna wing it. I wanna be fresh and free. Okay. There. And this side's a shadow side, so I'm going to put it in here, like on this side, and this side too. This side also, because all that shadow on where I'm putting most of my pressure. Chord needs to come out straight and not like that, so straight instead of at an angle. So there we go. So let me just confirm that with an ellipse. Let's put in the, let's put this in. Let's do this one too. So it comes out like that, goes like that. This is that cord restrainer where it helps the cord not break. And this is the, all right. The cord's coming from up on the top there. Okay, I'm not gonna be consistent on this. This is the side, and so the cord. That's a cord on that side. Let's just little landing pad. Put in these other parts. Press this stuff in. Put in those bolts. Just flicky, flicky, and start getting in there on this 3D. I'm gonna make this part darker, and I'm gonna leave the other side a little ambiguous. Let's put in some of the bendy stuff that you see in that cord restrainer. So you see, everything's a system. At least I do them all at the same time. And this guy you're not gonna see, but you will see the cord that comes out here. I like to put a center line through the cord because that'll tell me where my shadows go. I can't do this one confidently because it's on the edge of my paper. So this one too, maybe I can do it at this side. Chords are always just one thickness all the way through. And then down here is a shadow. Okay. Need some details like, let's just put a material break in here, in the bottom. Dark here, fade it off. Dark here, fade it off. And let's just put in this stuff down here on the 3D. And just for fun, I'm just going to put in those contour curves. Okay, they're all a little bit different, but it's okay. It's only the first concepts. I'm going to start shading in my favorite parts will be right in here. It's easy. It's just straight up and down lines. This is my core. And I'll fade it out as I go around. I might put details in later. And then here's a darkish area there. And a shadow is going to be in here. I don't know how it's going to look, but let's just funk it up and do something like that. And I'll shade that into. And the same here. I'm going to do the same core in here. So if you're working in a design studio, you will be able to bust these things out. I would be able to bust out at least 8 of these in a day. Let's say an 8-hour day, 1 an hour. That sounds about right. But once you get in the flow, then you can just easily just bust these things out. You just got to get into that flow. I'm not even in that flow yet, but after this one and the previous one, I'm in the flow. I'll be in the flow. And make this darker in here. I can see that it's not enough contrast. But when you're on a week of this stuff, you will be flowing. Trust me. So got the core there. Let's put in a little core. You know what I'm going to start using? This is going to be dark inside here and inside of those, but it looks too obnoxious. So I'm just going to use marker on this. But luckily I found that out now. Gosh darn it. Okay. Dark gray. I'll just use my up and down, make this super dark. Maybe it bleeds a little bit, but it's fine. They're a little different, but it doesn't matter. There, and then I'll do the same here. And this one's gonna be, I'm gonna make this one purposely arty and very uncommittal about all of this. I'm gonna purposely try to keep it very free. So this looks like it can be a marker stroke. This is the darkest area. So I'm gonna focus that there. Same here, darkest area is right in here. So I'm gonna just start off at the bottom. This one too. It's gonna have to be a shadow under here and under here because that's where the switch is. Let's put in a switch with the Sharpie. I'll just put that right. I'll put it, asymmetrical is always cool. Start putting in some shadows around the light. Let's use this again to, it's just, up here, I'm gonna just do a stroke. A little bit of flexion back there. Let's do this with one stroke. I'm gonna have to use a thick edge. And I'm gonna shade this up. I'll do the whole thing, might as well. Leave that open. Okay, a little bit of a core on this side, just to give it that round look. I'm not going to touch that because I like it how it's fading off into nothing. Okay, this is the C40. I'm going to go for the C60 now. Oh, I've got a black. Wow, that's cool. I'll use that. C60. Pretty sure. Yep, C60. I'm gonna go a little bit darker, really darken this shadow in here. Inside here, there's gonna definitely be a shadow in here. And let's just see how the contrast is starting to come out a little bit. Let's do this underneath each chord. Underneath here, under here. Let's do that shadow B stitch right in here, there. And this is gonna be, I'm gonna go light on this first. Drop a shadow in here on the back to really reiterate the fact that it is a shadow, just to confirm that the light's coming from behind. Let's sketch in some, okay, so the thumb is on the side, so I need to kind of switch this way. So I need my grips to be something like this. And I'm gonna put in a little bit of a stylish reflection stroke shadow in there. And I'm gonna leave that. I think I'm gonna put in a little bit of next, I'm gonna put in the orange color pop. Make sure that works. That goes in here. I need some more orange. Okay, I'm gonna do it in the ring of fire. That's what that's called. Right there. Just for color pop. Because I only have one opportunity if I were to stick with my guns and just have one color pop, it's not enough, I don't think. Okay, I'll just shade in the bottom part of this because that's where my shadow is. Sharpie, I'm using a Sharpie, I'm not using a marker. But I'm gonna just bring that around. What time is it? 3:05, okay, we're good. Okay, there. All right, the boss is calling my name. I better get onto it. Put in those bolts. Put in those shadows. Do a little bit of shading here. Light's coming this way. I'm gonna have to rotate my paper. Maybe there's a texture in here. But as I go around, I'm lightening it up. By the time I get around to here, I'm gonna be done. Let's do this side. Rotate that paper. Okay, I'm good. Let's just put in a little stylishly reflection-y stuff down there. We use a sharp part of the Sharpie for shadow down here. A little bit down here. Just to pop it off a little. But I'm not gonna do the whole circle. I should have used an ellipse guide though. Here, I'll put in, you have to show that those are holes, shadow, shadow. Same down here. Next, oh, I need a ring of fire up on the top one. I mean on that 3D one. Do it in. And so this thing, oops, this is a part line. So I'm gonna put that in, I'm gonna start off light, and then as I go around, I'm gonna go dark. I'll bust that dark in right now, right in here. And here, there's definitely a part line in there. And I'm gonna shade that in. I'm just gonna go up and down. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use the Sharpie for quick because I'm running out of time and my boss is breaking my balls. So you can use your mouth if you need. Okay, so just get that strong contrast. It's a little too harsh, but whatever. Okay, a little bit here. That shadow for that contrast. A little bit of love in there. And down here as well. And I think I need some, oh, this is not so nice. There's normally a slider inside. So the switch can actually slide. Oh, I just discovered something. My boss is not going to break my balls anymore because I rounded off those edges. That was an accident. Okay. Let's put in a logo because I want my logo to run parallel with 90 degrees to the cord. So just pop something in there. And it's going to be an abstract Japanese logo. So if my switch is right here, so I'm going to put my switch in. So because my thumb is here, so I'm going to put in my switch there, which is that. Put in orange, but I don't forget. Okay, and now a hand. I need a hand in there. Now, how am I going to do a hand? I'm going to bust it. This is risky. It's risky, risky, risky. I'm going to go in there with a pencil. Because the least I need now is a... so, okay, let me just look at my hand. So I'm holding my mouse. My hand looks like that. So I'm looking at my hand. Side view, side view. So that's how my hand is going to look. So I'm going to just... So fingers are made up of straight lines. One straight line, two straight lines, three straight lines. This is a cylinder, this is a cylinder, and that's a cylinder. So that's what I'm doing here. And then the thumb comes around. Oh, damn it. I need that hand on that side. Thank God I did it in pencil. Let's just erase that. Luckily, nothing else will erase. I can just erase everything. But this is the side view. So my thumb is going to go over this. That's my thumb, and it wraps around there, there. My finger sticks out like that, there. And the thumb is like that, and it sticks out like that. And then there's a wristwatch. Okay, so I'll quickly bust that in with the, and I'm going to be super loose with this because I don't want it distracting from my design. Okay, so that's my hand. I'm not going anymore. Now what? Backgrounds. Backgrounds. The only one that needs a background is this one, I think. So I'm just going to do a simple light source type of job. And how I'm going to do this, I'm going to use a light gray to show that the light is coming from here. That's where my light source is. Use a light gray. I'm going to go around the reflection. So I'm going to try to preserve the whiteness because I think that looks cool. And since I'm so loosey-goosey on this whole drawing, I might as well just do something like that. Because the light's coming from here, all of my drawings are talking that language, so therefore my background is going to talk that same language. Let's get that dark gray and like beef up this contrast. Here it is. Let's just do all this. Oh man, I should have gone to the end there. Okay, that's nice and contrasty. We'll do the same here. Fade that out. Fade this out. And I'm going to do it only on the underside here. Use my finger to block it. A little bit here, here. Might as well do the same on this side. But you really want that contrast. You want a contrast of a shadow. A little messy right there. I have to say that is a little messy. But definitely underneath there. I don't know why. And here, I'm going to need it here also. So it goes. There. And then the chord's going to cast a shadow. That's what that is. And now I need some text. What time is it? 15 minutes left. Okay, boss. Metal chassis. Rubberized. I don't have room to write anything else. I think, oh, more color because I have a ring of fire up there, so I'm going to do the same up here, just a straight line. And this is going to be the rubberized hand grip. On off, switch. I'll put in a little bit of shading down here for the extra contrast. A little bit on this side. And over here. And a little bit more contrast in this shadow. Just color it in with that cool 40, cool 850, 60, whatever it is. And might as well bust out more contrast around here. On the sides of the cord. This side here. That's normally black. These things are black, kind of. So I'll make that dark. And let's see what else. Chrome logo. I'm just going to say Chrome logo up here. I didn't line it up nice, so I'll just do that. Let's put in a few things here. Just a little bit. A little bit here. Just get that system going so you just do everything at the same time. And down here. I'm not doing anything over, oh well, I will do. I messed up a little bit there. Definitely make that stronger. I use my white, my Sharpie to get that thickness that I want. It's not that Sharpie's too sharp, it's too good. So I'm going to use this, another Blick marker. Definitely make this line stronger because it's a material separation. Maybe a little dark base because everyone likes a good dark base. Like tires on a car, or it's like the rubber feet on a amplifier. And might as well bust out so it stands out off the page. And that hand is kind of lost in space, so I'll pop it off just a little bit, not much though. I think I'm just going to go around it so it's a little more obvious. Oops, I'm running out of space. Okay, there we go. Maybe a little splatter. Toothbrush, because it's a sander, toothbrush and ink. Indian ink, waterproof Indian ink. Just bust in some, this is gonna be risky. It's gonna be super risky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a, what time is it? 20 minutes, no, 10 minutes. I love the pressure. So I'm gonna bust in some splatter coming in because there's a light, so I don't want the splatter there. I want the splatter coming here. So, and I definitely want this top part white. I don't care about the rest of it. So I'm gonna just cover that up quickly with some of that. And I think it's good enough. As long as I keep that white, I'm good. Where's my toothbrush? Toothbrush. I'd rather have a stiffer one. This is a soft toothbrush. These are all crappy. Anyway. Let's try something before you ink. Think before you ink. So I don't know if it's gonna work. Yeah, that works. All right, so I'm gonna splatter this to be suggestive of dust and nasty. A little texture. I'm good. That's good enough. All right, I'm done. I might put some white paint on, but I don't think so. Okay, there we go. Okay, Katerina, is that what you were kind of looking for?
Yeah, so this is like the type of layout that like you would want to see.
In an ideal world, yeah, but you know, I've
Okay.
got tenants. I mean, in an ideal world, sure. But this is a good layout. You get your side, you get your front, you get your top, and you get your 3D. So I would have said this is totally a good layout. But you know, there's many other ways. You know, I'm just going to use this. I'm going to use whiteout on this and just put in some whiteout quick. Just a final like. Normally, I wouldn't be so abrasive with this stuff because it's very, very risky. I don't want to get my I don't want to get my white paint out because I don't have time. And I gotta shake this up. It's too messy. But there's a couple of areas I do want to hit. Could screw this up very easily. But I'm good. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Otherwise, I'll just screw up. So, I mean, yeah, Katerina, I mean, it's hard for me to say what exactly I want because we're just in, I just want you to sketch. And so this is 3 hours worth, more or less 3 hours, a little bit less maybe because I was talking and stuff. So, but this is a good view because you get all the views. Everything's there, perfect. And your boss and everyone else would be more or less happy with it. And your instructor for your studio. That was a rush job, really. I'm sweaty. Okay. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Hey, and so can we please have our monitors on, do you think, or your video stuff on, unless you're doing something weird? Because I want to bring in a classroom environment, and I don't want anyone to be like, I miss the interaction. So we need to have I think we need to have our monitors on. I mean, our videos on. Okay, so homework, Tuesday. I would encourage you, if you've got studio projects, I would encourage you to work on your studios with me on your, because that way it's going to be double damage. You're going to do good stuff for your studio and also do stuff for me. So you're like, with one piece of work, you're hitting both, killing two birds with one stone thing. And so I would encourage you to do that. And it'd be interesting to see, you know, I can give you feedback on your designs and stuff. So I would do that. And I don't know if you're ready to get into orthographics, but I'm not going to be specific what you need to give in. 7 pages. You can do the thumbnail stuff, take it into development a little bit, do some 3D stuff. Some orthographics. Orthographics is the easiest way to bust out ideas because it's flat. You don't have to deal with the stuff. Just a flat view. And you can get a lot of meaning out of it. And you don't need to do 3 views. You can do just one view. One view and just a lot of them, or I don't know. But I love doing side views, just side views or front view. I don't know, stereo or a lamp, and do it nicely. And it's easy. Those are the easiest things you can do, the flat views, flat orthographics. But whatever. All I want is hot sketches. That's all I want. And that's all you want also is just hot sketches. So whatever is the hottest stuff, whatever you're comfortable with, just make sure they're really nice. As nice as you can do anyway, within the limited time. Oh, my back hurts. All right. If nobody has any questions or anything, shall we call it quits? Yeah. All right, great.
So 7 sketches again?
Every week is 7 sketches.
Okay.
Yep. Send me an email if you got any questions. Or you can write me a text, text as well, and I'll try to answer it. But hey, it's my birthday this weekend, so I might be a little iffy. I don't know what's going to happen. So I might not be super responsive this weekend. All right then, guys. No response. I'm shutting it down. All right then, guys.
All right, bye. Have a good weekend and a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay then, guys. Have a great weekend. See you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye.